As I scour the virtual world for new information on UFOlogy, I usually find much of the same stories retold in ever-increasing lunacy. So many people claim to know so many things in which they cannot know. I see that more often than not people's imagination gets the better of them. Gets the better of them is a polite way to say that their imagination beats them like they owe it money. So many people, in so many places, believe some strongly delusional stuff. Yes. I am looking at you, Stephen Bassett. I fart in your general direction, Dr. Stephen Greer. If even only 0.1% of accounts in UFOlogy have some merit beyond delusion and self-interest, there would still be a myriad of alleged craft with varying occupants zipping around our atmosphere. I am a UFO experiencer myself, see my previous writings. I know that something very real and quantifiable is happening to a vast many people. But I do not have the foggiest clue as to who, where, why, and what I and my family saw that fateful afternoon. I would really like to know, as would a billion people would, I am sure. But the big dirty truth is that no one knows who they are. I can say that with a reasonably high sense of certainty. Spend any amount of time in the waters of mainstream UFOlogy and you will contract the digital equivalent of malaria. You will have been infected with parasites, heavy nausea, cold chills, and explosive disrupted bowel movements. At least your mind will feel like that. So much nonsense, so many clicks, so little thought. I have seen claims of dozens of different aliens visiting our pale blue dot. Greys, Nordics, reptilians, and blue avians for an example short list. There are hundreds of other less popular ones as well. All English language understanding bipedal humanoid aliens. One alien that looks like us is beating insurmountable odds. Parallel evolution is so unlikely to ever occur. It may in a cosmic blue moon occur, but for it to happen dozens of times in our little corner of infinity is impossible. Not improbable but outright impossible. Not everything is possible, the universe has laws that itself follows most of the time. How can all these aliens be coming to Earth on such a regular timetable and that we do not have any credible evidence to support it? The easy answer is that they are not. All these volumes of alleged aliens mingling on Earth are just fantasy. Not even a good fantasy. This could change in the light of credible verifiable evidence. Anything, a single cell or material scraping from extraterrestrial materials, biological or otherwise, would be nice. No real evidence has ever come forward that could withstand even the most tertiary scientific examination. There have been many hoaxes in bygone days, and even more ongoing today. Without any evidence, there is no reason to believe any of it. Several governments have opened up their versions of Area 51 and have released their UFO files. Thousands and thousands of reports of sightings have been released to a fevered UFOlogy community. Many very good descriptions of encounters, but not a single word on the origins of these silent thieves in the night. Not one word. There is only one way to interpret that. They do not know. If they knew, they would tell us. Why wouldn't they? It would mean absolutely nothing to most people. Knowing that they come from a star system 89,658 light-years away, tells us nothing useful. Not even something like that has ever been uttered. The only time you hear of any explanation of sourcing is from the lunatic fringe. Nothing has ever been uttered by a reputable source. Ever. Not surprising when you really think about it. No one that could possibly know anything has ever uttered one syllable of useful data to help us suss out the source of the UFO enigma. I am fascinated by the quality of good reports that the gifted UFO researchers such as Paul Dean have deduced and compiled. Some very interesting government documents exist that shed light on the cover-up of information they have waged on us for nearly 60 years. All those documents are great, but they do not hold my interest very long. I already know they are real and exist in our skies. No need to convince me of that. I have the luxury of knowing. None of the big questions is being answered. I believe they cannot possibly be answered. At least not yet in our intellectual evolution. There would be no way for the extraterrestrials to tell us anything of any substance. When two different life forms meet and have no common genetic heritage, don't expect much informative information exchange. A true alien is not going to understand us, and we certainly will not understand them. We would have zero things in common. We could sit across a table from them for a year and never get past "My name is Trevor, what is yours?" A real-life encounter with aliens will be stranger and more baffling than we can imagine. Humans cannot even have a meaning conversation with any other creatures besides fellow Homo sapiens. We can't have a good conversation with anything on Earth except with ourselves. All those life forms have a common genetic evolutionary heritage with us. We evolved on the same planet, with the same sun, and same moon. We have a lot of things in common with all life forms on Earth, and that provides zero help. We would never understand a truly alien intelligence. End of story. Without a galactic Rosetta Stone, we are hopelessly lost in translation. Even if we squeezed into a parallel universe where we could understand each other, how can they reference infinity in a form we can fathom? When we sent Voyager 1 probe out of Earth orbit and shot it into deep space, we attached a gold plaque. It contained a graphic representation of pulsars in our vicinity. They provided a pulsar map that has directions to find Earth in the vast blackness. A pulsar map is nice but won't work if you are too far away. This kind of map is only at best good within our own galaxy. Only works in our backyard. How could an alien tell us or give us coordinates we could understand without any common language or mutual understanding on how distances and time work? If they are any substantial distance from Earth, we will not see anything in common. We may not be able to gather the data due to it being further away than we can usably use in any definition. It possibly is going to be impossible to get any meaningful location information ever. The universe is a big place and our map is woefully incomplete. I propose that the source of these visitors does not ultimately matter. It is more important to try to assess intention and purpose. Those two are also more than likely beyond our understanding for the same reasons. I would not worry about them too much. They are not blasting aeroplanes out of the sky or melting the president's face like in Mars Attacks, unless they are waiting for Trump to win, then I say go for it. I would hypothesize that they are here just for observation and fact-gathering. We could be one hell of a strange sociological experiment for some intelligence somewhere. They have been here a long time and we are still here. To our earthbound brains, we will see gross indifference with the same eyes as we see hostility. Is grave indifference what we are experiencing in ufology? Almost like a scientific detachment.